this is how I write 10. Okay? And this should be mastered by they come to you. I mean, seriously, they should know this. And your kindergarten teacher should be doing it. I mean, we would have lessons where we just counted out things, and when we got to 10, ding, 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 and we moved it over because it was just recognizing that it's 10. All right, so we're talking about this problem now. So now we're at 6, right? All right, so this is 26. And then how many 10s do we need? 2. All right, so here we have 2. You only make the first number when you are adding for the starters, okay? So then you're going to do 26 first, okay? Everybody, make sure everybody has it. Now you're going to do 31. How many 1s do I need?
1.
So I'm going to add 1 down here. And the mats that y'all have, if you still have those plastic ones, they have like a dividing line.
Yes, that's what I have.
The reason why they have that dividing line is so that you can make the first number up top and the second number at the bottom. All right, and then how many 10s do we need? 3. And then of course you want to check, and you're going to have those kids that like do this, and so I would just be like, oh, I love the way you put it in 3s, and then everybody's like, oh, I didn't put it in 3s. All right, so then I have 31. So now you're going to combine these because we're adding. So you're going to combine all of them, and you're going to organize it again so that you can see your numbers. So that if I had to regroup, of course I don't have to here, and then when you combine, you have, so what is your sum?
50.
6 and 1 makes 7, and 20 plus 30 makes
50.
50. Please never say 2 plus 3,
Right.
because it's not.
Right.
It's 20 plus 30. 20, or you can say, and 2 10s plus 3 10s makes 5 10s, so this number would be 57. All right, so now let's change this so that we have to regroup. Okay, so go back to 26, and then let's make 36. Yours is probably way easier to get to than mine. 36.
They're bigger. That's one of them.
All right, you would do the same thing. Combine them, keeping them organized. All right, and then once they're combined, look at what you have. You had 6 plus 6, which makes 12. All right, so is that okay?
No.
No. What do we need to do?
Regroup. So.
And the better part is trade. Regroup is great because that's a great word, but trade is what you're actually doing because you're going to trade. And if I was doing this on the board with them, I would actually draw my group so they can see. I'm going to trade 10 for 10, and then you put it up there. Why do you put it up there?
Oh, because that's the one.
That's exactly right, because when you do the algorithm, that's where you put it. So you put it in the same place on the mat, and you, as you're doing it, you actually do the algorithm. 6 plus 6, we said was 12, and you make the connection right there. There's the 110 right here. Okay, then these go away. Now you combine this, and 3 plus 3 is 6.
Yes.
So the sum is
62.
62. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, let's do subtraction. Subtraction. Let's say that we have, let's do a great one. Let's start with 50. You make the first number. In subtraction, you only make the first number. So let's say I want to do 50, take away, I don't know, 23, because that's a good one. You make 50. You want to take away 23, so restart here. What's the problem?
There's nothing to take away.
There's nothing to take away. So I need to get something to take away. Where do I get it from?
Tens place.
10s. I'm not going to borrow. You never, ever, ever use the word borrow in Singapore. Because borrow means you're going to give back, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I borrow something from you, you expect it back. You are actually going to take it, and you're going to never give it back because you actually aren't really taking it anyway. All you're doing is trading.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where the word regroup comes. So you're going to take 10, and you're going to put it up in the ones. You are not going to put it down here because it can't go here because it's a 10. So you put it up here. And then they have, you actually make them trade it out. And you'll see, I mean, some kids, like, they'll put 12, they'll put 11 because they're doing it so fast. You actually make them trade it out. When they trade it out and it's the same, then they take that 10 away and make sure it goes away. Am I going too fast or are you good?
No, this is
Okay.
good.
So then we come down. Now we bring it into our ones. Now we have 10. Can we take 3 away from 10?
Yes.
Yes. And again, teach them to take away from the bottom so they don't have to organize and all that. So 10, take away 3. And oh, and I forgot. As I'm doing that, I would do this on my algorithm so they could just see what we did. We had 4. I took the 10 and I added my 10 to what I already had. I had nothing, so now I have 10. Now I have 10 minus 3 is 7. And then 4, take away 2, would leave me with 27.
Wouldn't you say 40, take away 20?
Yeah, I'm sorry,
Or
I sure
4
did.
tens.
I said what I said not to do. Yes, 4 tens minus 2 tens. Any questions about that? And they just get, it just gets harder with more numbers. Because eventually you're like regrouping here, especially when you have like 5,000, take away 23. Because they got to regroup and they got to regroup and they got to regroup and it really, but they should, if they're really good at this, when you give them a whole paper of just this, they can fly through it because they know what they're doing. But if you give them this and they don't know what they're doing, they just, oh, I put it in here because I don't know. I don't know why I do that, but I do that. Then that's where you're going to see like the mistakes and the struggles. All right, so multiplying. Let's say I got 52 times 5. You cannot do, you could, but you would be here a long time. I would not do multiplying with 2-digit numbers by this because you would be there. Because whatever the multiplier is, you're going to make that number that many times.
Right.
So this actually is not a good example because you probably don't have 25 of those. Let's go to just 3. So you would make 52 5 times. And I'm like, usually I'm so lazy I don't even get mine out. I just draw on the board.
And one or two.
And you might not have, oh, I'm doing it 5. Change to 3. So you would do 52. 52 1 time, space, 52 2 times, 52 3 times. So if you have 2 3 times, you have
6.
6. And you would do the algorithm. And you would only do this. They would not, that's too much for them to do. You are the only one doing that. And then eventually, like I would have, after I know the kids are good at it, I would call them up for the steps and they would come and manipulate on the board and do the algorithm, like one step at a time. So then we have 50 times 3. So I would organize those, but for time's sake, I'm not going to do that. So if you have 50 times 3, you have
150.
150, but is that possible? I guess I should have done that.
Well, no, not with what we
3,
have here.
6, 9, 12, 15.
No,
So it should look like that. I need to trade out for 100.